There is something profound that happens when a person is anointed by God. It is not merely an event or an external acknowledgement, but an inner awakening, a shift in consciousness that touches every aspect of their life. You begin to sense the invisible hand of the divine orchestrating your steps, guiding your thoughts, and drawing you into a higher state of being. The anointing is unmistakable, and it is revealed through certain undeniable signs. Let us explore 5 key indicators that show you are greatly anointed by God. A deep inner conviction is something profound, a force that seems to rise from the very core of your being. It is not just an emotion or a fleeting feeling that comes and goes with the winds of circumstance. Rather, it is a state of awareness, an abiding sense of knowing that there is something larger at work within you. You may not always be able to articulate it, but you feel it guiding your every move, influencing your thoughts, and shaping your decisions. This conviction speaks to you in moments of stillness, in those quiet times when you pause long enough to listen. It calls out from the depths of your soul, urging you forward, urging you to fulfill a purpose that is greater than yourself. There is something unique about the nature of this conviction. It is not easily swayed by external factors. While the world around you may be uncertain, chaotic even, this inner conviction remains steady, a constant companion on your journey. It does not falter in the face of doubt or fear. In fact, it often grows stronger during moments of adversity. When you are faced with challenges, when everything seems to be against you, this deep inner conviction emerges as your anchor. It gives you the courage to continue moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. This sense of purpose that accompanies deep conviction is not something you chose, rather, it feels as though it has chosen you. It is as if a divine force has placed within you a mission, a call that you cannot ignore. It pulls at you, sometimes gently, sometimes with overwhelming force, until you can no longer resist. At times you may question it. You may wonder if you are truly capable of fulfilling such a purpose, or whether you are even worthy of it. But even in those moments of doubt, the conviction remains. It refuses to be silenced, and eventually you come to realize that you are being led by something far greater than your own understanding. This inner conviction brings with it a sense of clarity, even when the specifics of your journey are not entirely clear. You may not know exactly where you are going, but you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are on the right path. It is as though an invisible hand is guiding you, opening doors that you did not even know existed, and closing others that no longer serve your purpose. You begin to trust in the process, trusting that this deep inner knowing will not lead you astray. The more you surrender to it, the more you find that things begin to align in your favor. One of the most powerful aspects of this conviction is how it influences your decisions. It shapes the way you move through the world, the choices you make, and the paths you take. With this inner conviction, you no longer make decisions based solely on logic or practicality. Instead, you are guided by a higher sense of purpose. There are times when the decisions you make may not make sense to others, or even to yourself at first, but you trust the inner prompting that tells you to move forward. It is a kind of wisdom that transcends the intellect, a divine intuition that speaks louder than reason. This inner conviction also has a profound impact on how you view obstacles and setbacks. In the absence of conviction, challenges can feel like roadblocks, barriers that prevent you from moving forward. But when you are driven by a deep inner conviction, those same challenges take on a different meaning. They become opportunities for growth, stepping stones along your path. You begin to see that every obstacle is a chance to strengthen your resolve, to refine your purpose, and to deepen your faith in the process. What may have seemed like failure in the past now becomes an essential part of your journey, a necessary step in the fulfillment of your purpose. This sense of purpose that drives you is not confined to a specific area of your life. It permeates everything you do. Whether it is your work, your relationships, or even your daily interactions with others, this conviction is always present, guiding you toward your highest potential. It compels you to approach life with intentionality, with a desire to make every moment count. You are no longer content with simply going through the motions. You want every action, every decision, to be aligned with your higher purpose. There is also a sense of peace that comes with this conviction, even amidst the chaos of life. It is not the kind of peace that comes from external circumstances, but rather a deep inner peace that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Even when things do not go according to plan, even when you encounter difficulties or delays, this inner peace remains. It is the peace that comes from trusting the process, from trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you cannot see the full picture in the moment. As you move forward with this deep inner conviction, you begin to notice that you are no longer driven by external validation. You are no longer seeking approval or affirmation from others, because the approval you need comes from within. You are no longer trying to prove yourself or justify your actions to anyone else, because you know that you are being guided by a purpose that is far greater than any external judgment. This inner conviction becomes your compass, your guide, and your source of strength. This deep inner conviction transforms not only how you see the world, but also how you see yourself. It awakens you to the realization that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. You begin to see yourself as a vessel, a conduit through which divine purpose is being fulfilled. You no longer question whether you are worthy or capable. Instead, you trust that you have been chosen for a reason. You embrace your purpose with humility, with gratitude, and with unwavering faith that the path you are on is the one you are always meant to walk. The transformative influence you have on others is a powerful indicator of the anointing of God upon your life. This influence is not rooted in charisma, personal power, or persuasive speech, but in the deeper spiritual authority that flows through you. It is as if when you enter a room or engage in a conversation, something shifts. People may not always be able to put their finger on it, but they sense a different energy, an aura of peace, wisdom, or compassion that emanates from you. It is a subtle yet profound force that causes those around you to pause, reflect, and often change their course. When you are greatly anointed, your life becomes a mirror that reflects divine truth to others. You may not realize the full extent of your impact, but your actions, words, and even your presence can inspire others to seek deeper meaning and transformation in their own lives. It's as though the light of God shines through you, illuminating the paths of those around you. This influence is not about commanding others or pushing your will upon them, but rather about offering an example of what it means to live in alignment with divine purpose. People are drawn to you not because of your position, wealth, or outward success, but because of the spiritual depth they perceive in you. They are often looking for something beyond the material, and in your presence they sense a connection to that higher reality. It is not something you manufacture, it is the natural result of being anointed. Your words carry weight because they are infused with divine truth. Even casual conversations can have a profound impact on those who hear them, because when you speak, it is not just your voice that they hear, it is the voice of the Spirit working through you. This influence is not something you seek out, nor is it something you use for personal gain. Rather, it is a byproduct of walking closely with God. When you are aligned with His will, others cannot help but be affected by the overflow of His presence in your life. It's not about trying to fix people or control outcomes. It's about being a vessel through which divine love, wisdom, and grace can flow. As you grow in your anointing, you begin to realize that the true power lies not in forcing change, but in simply being who God has called you to be. Often, this influence manifests in unexpected ways. You may say something that seems insignificant to you, but it deeply touches someone else. You may offer a piece of advice that, though simple, becomes the catalyst for major shifts in someone's life. You may even find that people come to you for guidance without fully understanding why they are drawn to the peace, clarity, and presence of God that they sense within you. When you are anointed, it is as though the Spirit of God uses you as a vessel to reach others, often in ways you cannot predict or control. At times, this influence can feel overwhelming. You may wonder why people are turning to you, why they are confiding in you, or why they are seeking your counsel. But as you embrace the anointing, you come to understand that it is not about you at all. It is about the divine force working through you. You are simply the instrument, the conduit through which God is choosing to touch the lives of others. This realization brings with it both a sense of humility and responsibility. You begin to see that your life is not just about you, but about the impact you are meant to have on the world around you. There is also a sense of ease that accompanies this transformative influence. You don't have to strive or struggle to make a difference. The impact happens naturally as a result of who you are becoming in God. The more you surrender to His purpose, the more you allow His anointing to flow through you, the more transformative your presence becomes. People are changed not because of what you do, but because of the divine presence they encounter in and through you. This influence is not limited to grand gestures or public displays. In fact, it often shows up in the small, everyday interactions you have with others. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or even just the act of listening can have a profound effect on someone who is seeking hope or direction. The anointing causes you to become sensitive to the needs of others, to see beyond the surface and to respond to the deeper spiritual hunger that exists within them. You begin to operate not just in the natural realm, but in the spiritual, and in doing so, you become a vessel of healing, encouragement, and transformation. As you walk in this anointing, you begin to notice that people are not just influenced by what you say, but by the way you live. Your life becomes a testimony to the power of God's grace and love. The choices you make, the way you handle adversity, and the integrity with which you carry yourself all serve as a model for others. When you are greatly anointed, you become a living example of what it means to walk in divine purpose, and this example speaks louder than any words ever could. This transformative influence is one of the clearest signs of God's anointing. It is not something you can manufacture or fake. It is the natural outpouring of a life that is surrendered to God. As you allow His presence to shape and guide you, others will inevitably be drawn to the light that shines through you. They will be transformed, not by your power, but by the power of God working through you. Supernatural clarity and guidance are unmistakable signs that God's anointing is upon your life. When you are anointed, you operate with a level of insight and discernment that transcends natural understanding. It is as if a higher intelligence is constantly at work within you, leading you in ways that others may not comprehend. This clarity doesn't always come as an audible voice or a dramatic revelation, but rather as a deep knowing that resides within your spirit. You begin to move through life with an inner confidence, trusting in the guidance you receive, even when it defies logic or common sense. This divine guidance manifests in various ways. Sometimes it comes as a sudden realization or a moment of insight that gives you the exact answer you've been seeking. Other times it appears as a gentle nudge, a subtle prompting that encourages you to take a specific action or move in a particular direction. It is not something you have to force or strive to achieve. It comes effortlessly when you are aligned with the Spirit of God. When you are greatly anointed, you are tapped into a divine source of wisdom that provides you with the answers you need, often at just the right moment. There is a sense of peace that accompanies this supernatural guidance. Even when the path ahead seems uncertain, you are not plagued by fear or anxiety. You trust in the inner voice that is leading you, knowing that it is directing you according to God's plan. This trust allows you to move forward with boldness and confidence even when others around you may be confused or doubtful. You don't rely on the opinions of others or the external circumstances to determine your course. You rely solely on the divine direction that is being revealed to you. One of the most remarkable aspects of this supernatural clarity is that it often defies human reasoning. There are times when the steps you are being guided to take may not make sense to those around you or even to yourself at first. You may be prompted to pursue a path that seems unconventional or take risks that seem unnecessary by worldly standards. But deep down, you know that you are being led by a higher wisdom, and this inner certainty compels you to trust the process, even the outcome is unclear. This clarity extends not only to your personal life, but also to your interactions with others. When you are greatly anointed, you have an uncanny ability to see things as they truly are. You can discern the motives, intentions, and needs of others with remarkable accuracy. This isn't about being judgmental or suspicious, rather, it is about seeing with spiritual eyes, recognizing the deeper truths that may be hidden beneath the surface. This insight allows you to respond to people with wisdom and compassion, addressing their real needs rather than just reacting to their words or behaviors. Supernatural guidance often opens doors and creates opportunities that you could not have orchestrated on your own. When you are aligned with God's purpose, you will find that the right people, resources, and circumstances seem to appear at just the right time. What may seem like coincidence to others is, in reality, divine orchestration. You begin to recognize that you are not moving through life by chance. You are being led by the hand of God, and everything is unfolding according to His perfect plan. This awareness fills you with a sense of awe and gratitude as you witness the miracles and blessings that accompany divine guidance. This clarity also gives you the ability to make decisions with confidence. Even when faced with difficult choices, you are not easily swayed by indecision or doubt. You know that the answers will come, and you trust in the timing of those answers. Sometimes the guidance you receive will require patience, as not every decision needs to be made immediately. But even in waiting, you experience a peace that surpasses understanding, knowing that you are moving in sync with God's plan. There is no need to rush or force things to happen, because you are attuned to the divine rhythm of life. Another aspect of this supernatural clarity is the ability to see beyond your present circumstances. You are not limited by the physical world or by the immediate situation at hand. Instead, you have a vision that stretches into the spiritual realm, allowing you to see possibilities and potential outcomes that others might miss. This expanded awareness helps you navigate life with a sense of purpose and direction, as you are always guided by a higher perspective. You begin to make decisions not based on what is seen, but on what is unseen, the reality that God is revealing to you in the Spirit. This divine guidance also brings a heightened awareness of timing. You begin to understand that there is a divine order to everything, and you are able to discern when to act and when to wait. Sometimes the guidance you receive may instruct you to hold back, to wait for the perfect moment before moving forward. Other times it may push you to act swiftly, even when it seems premature. Regardless of the timing, you learn to trust that everything is unfolding as it should. This sensitivity to divine timing becomes one of your greatest strengths, as you are no longer bound by the pressure to act according to the world's schedule. The supernatural clarity also sharpens your ability to interpret dreams, signs, and symbols. When you are anointed, God often communicates with you in ways that go beyond the ordinary. Dreams may carry profound messages, and seemingly random events may hold significant meaning. You become attuned to the language of the Spirit, recognizing the subtle ways in which God speaks to you through the world around you. This heightened awareness allows you to navigate life with a greater sense of purpose, as you are constantly receiving confirmation and direction from the spiritual realm. This supernatural clarity and guidance set you apart. It becomes clear to those around you that you are operating under divine influence, as your decisions, actions, and words reflect a wisdom that goes beyond human understanding. People may begin to seek your counsel, drawn to the peace and confidence that you exude. They recognize that you have access to a higher source of wisdom, and they desire to learn from you. But this wisdom is not something you take credit for. It is a gift from God, a sign of the anointing that rests upon you. Another profound sign that you are greatly anointed by God is an overwhelming sense of peace in the midst of chaos. This peace is not the kind that comes from favorable circumstances or external security. Rather, it is a deep, abiding sense of calm that anchors you regardless of what is happening around you. When you are anointed, you carry a stillness within you, a spiritual tranquility that cannot be shaken by external events. It's as if the storms of life can rage all around you, but at your core you remain steady, unmoved by the turbulence that threatens to engulf others. This peace is supernatural in nature. It doesn't come from positive thinking or emotional control. It flows directly from your connection with God. It's a peace that transcends understanding, meaning that it exists even when it defies logic. In moments when others would naturally be anxious, fearful, or stressed, you find yourself grounded in an inexplicable serenity. This inner peace is one of the clearest signs that you are walking under the anointing of God, because it signifies your trust in Him and your surrender to His will. When you are greatly anointed, this peace radiates from you, and others can sense it. People who are frantic, confused, or overwhelmed by life are often drawn to you because of the calming presence you bring. Even without speaking a word, your demeanor reassures them. It is not something you consciously project, but rather, it is a natural byproduct of the divine presence that dwells within you. This peace is the outworking of your intimate relationship with God. The more you align with His purpose, the more you rest in His sovereignty, and this rest manifests as peace in your heart. This peace is particularly evident during times of crisis or difficulty. While others may be reacting with fear or panic, you respond with a quiet assurance that everything is under control, not because you can control the outcome, but because you know who holds the outcome. It is a profound inner knowing that no matter what happens, God is in charge, and He is working all things together for good. This confidence allows you to face challenges with a calmness that others may find perplexing. It's not that you are indifferent to the seriousness of the situation, but you are deeply rooted in the belief that God's plan is perfect, even if it's beyond your understanding. This peace also enables you to make decisions with clarity. When faced with tough choices or high-pressure situations, you are not rushed or anxious. You have the ability to pause, reflect, and allow the Spirit to guide your next steps. Even when time-sensitive decisions need to be made, you do so with a sense of calm, knowing that you are being led by a force greater than your own reasoning. This composure in decision-making is a sign of divine wisdom at work within you, another mark of the anointing. Another key aspect of this peace is its endurance. It doesn't fade when circumstances become difficult, nor does it disappear when things don't go according to plan. It remains with you through the highs and the lows, through the victories and the setbacks. This peace is a constant companion because it is rooted in God's unchanging nature. The world around you may shift and change, but your trust in God remains steadfast, and that trust is what sustains your peace. Interestingly, this peace often serves as a guide for others. People who are searching for answers or struggling with uncertainty may come to you seeking your insight or perspective. They are not necessarily drawn by the words you speak, but by the peace that surrounds you. They may not even be able to articulate it, but they sense that there is something different about the way you handle life. In the middle of chaos, you are like a lighthouse, a beacon of calm in the storm. This calmness speaks volumes about your spiritual maturity and your connection to something far greater than yourself. This peace also protects you from being influenced by external pressures. When you are greatly anointed, you are less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others or the changing tides of public opinion? You are not easily shaken by criticism or praise because your identity and sense of worth come from your relationship with God, not from the approval of others. This makes you resilient in the face of adversity and stable when the world around you is unstable. Your peace is your strength, and it allows you to stand firm even when everything else is falling apart. Furthermore, this peace gives you the ability to navigate conflict with grace. Whether it's a personal disagreement or a larger societal issue, you are able to engage with others without becoming emotionally reactive. You listen, respond thoughtfully, and seek resolution without being drawn into unnecessary drama or negativity. This is because your inner peace acts as a buffer, shielding you from the emotional volatility that often arises in conflict situations. You remain centered, focused on the higher perspective, which allows you to contribute to solutions rather than fueling the problem. This sense of peace is a reflection of your trust in God's sovereignty. You know that He is in control, and because of that, you don't have to be. This surrender to divine will freeze you from the need to manage every detail of your life, from the anxiety of trying to predict or manipulate outcomes. Instead, you live with the assurance that God's plans for you are good, and that, in His perfect timing, everything will come to pass. This peace transforms your entire outlook upon life, shifting you from a place of striving to a place of resting in God's grace. Another sign that you are greatly anointed by God is an extraordinary resilience in the face of adversity. This resilience goes beyond mere toughness or perseverance. It is a divine strength that allows you to endure trials with a sense of purpose and grace. When you are anointed, challenges and hardships do not defeat or break you. Instead, they refine you. Every setback, obstacle, or difficulty you face becomes an opportunity for growth, a stepping stone that moves you closer to fulfilling your divine calling. This resilience is not a product of your own willpower. It is the result of God's power working in and through you. When you are greatly anointed, you are able to draw from a source of strength that is far beyond your natural abilities. In moments when most people would give up, collapse, or despair, you find an inner reserve of strength that sustains you. This divine fortitude gives you the ability to keep moving forward, even when the odds seem overwhelmingly against you. Adversity, in fact, becomes a platform for God to display His power in your life. You may encounter situations that seem impossible, where there is no clear solution or way out. Yet, through the anointing, you experience breakthroughs that are beyond human speed. It is in these moments that you see God's hand at work most clearly. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is God doing through this?" This shift in perspective allows you to embrace challenges with faith and courage, knowing that every trial is an opportunity for God's glory to be revealed. The resilience that accompanies the anointing also manifests in your ability to rise after a fall. You may experience failure, rejection, or loss, but you do not stay down. Instead of being crushed by disappointment, you rise again with even greater determination. This ability to rebound is a clear sign that you are operating under divine favor. Where others may be tempted to quit or wallow in defeat, you find the strength to keep going, knowing that the end of one chapter is not the end of your story. This resilience is rooted in your unshakable belief that God's plans for you are still unfolding, even when circumstances seem bleak. This divine resilience also gives you the ability to withstand not only external challenges but internal struggles as well. You may face moments of doubt, fear, or discouragement, but they do not overwhelm you. Instead of allowing negative emotions to derail your progress, you bring them to God in prayer, trusting Him to provide the peace and strength you need. You understand that true resilience is not about pretending to be unaffected by difficulty, but about trusting in God's ability to carry you through it. This ability to endure hardship with grace and purpose also serves as a powerful testimony to others. When people see you navigating life's challenges with resilience, they are often inspired by your example. Your perseverance in the face of adversity becomes a source of encouragement for those who are struggling. They may wonder how you are able to keep going when the odds are against you. And in that wonder, they are drawn to the source of your strength, God. Your resilience becomes a living testament to the power of the anointing, showing others that with God, all things are possible. One of the most remarkable aspects of this divine resilience is that it transforms adversity into a tool for spiritual growth. Rather than being diminished by trials, you are strengthened by them. Each challenge you face deepens your faith, sharpens your character, and brings you closer to God. You begin to see adversity not as a curse, but as a blessing in disguise, a necessary part of the refining process that prepares you for greater levels of anointing and purpose. This mindset allows you to embrace hardship with a sense of hope, knowing that God is using every situation, no matter how difficult, for your ultimate good. Resilience under the anointing also means that you are not easily swayed by opposition or criticism. When you are walking in your divine calling, you may face resistance from others, whether it's in the form of doubt, skepticism, or outright hostility. Yet, the anointing gives you the strength to stand firm in the face of opposition. You are not discouraged by the opinions of others or by the obstacles in your path, because you know that you are walking in alignment with God's purpose. This inner conviction fuels your resilience, enabling you to continue moving forward even when the road ahead is challenging. Moreover, this resilience gives you the ability to adapt and thrive in changing circumstances. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes the path you thought you would take shifts dramatically. Yet, because of the anointing, you are able to pivot and adjust without losing sight of your ultimate goal. You are flexible in your approach, but steadfast in your purpose. This adaptability is a sign of spiritual maturity, as it reflects your trust in God's ability to guide you through any situation. You don't cling to rigid plans or expectations. Instead, you flow with the Spirit, knowing that God's ways are higher than your own. This resilience is a reflection of God's sustaining power in your life. It is a sign that no matter what comes your way, you are equipped to handle it because of the anointing that rests upon you. The challenges you face are not there to destroy you, they are there to strengthen you and bring you closer to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. Each trial you overcome is a testament to the anointing that empowers you, and each victory you achieve serves as a reminder that with God, you are more than a conqueror. This resilience, born of the anointing, is what enables you to fulfill the calling God has placed on your life. It gives you the strength to press on, the courage to face adversity, and the wisdom to grow through every challenge. It is a divine gift that sets you apart and prepares you for greater levels of impact and influence. Through this resilience, you become a living testimony of God's faithfulness and power, showing the world that with the anointing, nothing is impossible. In conclusion, being greatly anointed by God is marked by undeniable signs that transform not only your life but also the lives of those around you. A deep inner conviction drives you toward your purpose, supernatural clarity guides your every step, and an overwhelming peace sustains you in the midst of chaos. Your resilience in the face of adversity stands as a powerful testimony to the divine strength that carries you through every challenge. These signs are not fleeting emotions or momentary inspirations, they are the lasting evidence of God's presence and favor in your life. When you are anointed, you walk with a higher wisdom, a deeper peace, and an unshakable strength. Your life becomes a reflection of God's power and grace, a beacon of light that draws others to the source of all things. It is through these signs that your divine calling is both confirmed and fulfilled.